Looking for the latest scoop on what's happening right here in Tip City, Ohio? Then tune in to Newsmakers, the podcast where local stories come to life. Hosted by Greg Enselin in proud partnership with the Tippecanoe Gazette, Newsmakers brings you face-to-face with the people shaping our community. Subscribe today on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. Your town. Your stories. Your podcast.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Newsmakers podcast, sponsored by the Tip Gazette. Today, we have a special guest on. We have people from the Childcare Choices organization here in town, and we're very excited to hear from you.
That's me.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm Janine.
Hi, Janine.
Yeah, I'm the brand new executive director.
Brand new, like this morning. Or no, this week. What? 2 weeks
ago. Yeah.
2 weeks, yes. And you brought some guests.
I sure did. I will let them introduce themselves.
I'm Sarah Laughlin. I'm a mom to 3 boys and almost a baby girl. And
Congrats.
I live in Troy. Thank you.
Nice.
So
That's
you
good.
found out what you're having?
Yes,
That's
hey.
exciting.
Oh, no. Is this a news break?
News break. Breaking news.
We're gonna be the first people to tell people about this. It's breaking news.
Yeah, we found out at the symposium in DC, which we'll get to in a little bit. But she had said something in passing about being pregnant, and I was like, I don't know if that's public knowledge. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, you don't know what you're allowed to say or not say.
Yes.
You never know.
Everybody
what's
knows
secret.
now, so it's no longer a secret.
You never know if you're supposed to keep somebody's secret or not.
I'm Sierra Westcott.
Sierra, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Are you wearing headphones?
I am wearing
can't tell.
headphones. I know. They're there, I promise.
They're secret headphones.
They
They're
are.
hidden. I can't
They're
tell.
invisible.
And who else do we have on the show?
This is Vivian, my
she-
one and only at the moment.
And she likes oranges and
She
chickens.
does.
And Elsa, I think. I'm not sure what she likes. So she's going to pop in at some point and say hi, I think, but not now. Cool, but we're here to talk about childcare choices, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Very excited to hear more about childcare choices and what you guys do. And if you missed the first episode, we just did one on kind of explaining the origin of childcare choices and where their funding comes from, and then a little bit about their trip to DC. But it sounds like we have some more folks on that went to DC, and it sounds like you guys had fun, except for the restaurant, the Vietnamese restaurant. It sounded like the trip was pretty good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So tell us all about it.
So we had secured a grant from the Childcare Aware of America for advocacy with family advocates that would be able to go and meet with legislators or their staff. It was the staffers to share the story that they have connected to accessibility and affordability of childcare, and to be able to share that with the people who can really make a difference and, be the ones in charge of deciding how childcare can be affordable or not for, families who are in the trenches, and which is, one of the reasons that we have Vivian here today, because, childcare just wasn't available for, today's podcast. And so, we're happy to have her here. And
It's a real thing that's happening right now. Where you don't have childcare support. So you have to bring Vivian with you. And I don't think people understand how it's very easy for some people to find childcare support, and for some people it's very difficult.
Yeah. My family doesn't live too close, and I don't have really anybody that can watch her readily like a lot of people can. They're like, oh, I have aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters, whoever, that take them all the time.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I can't really do anything unless she's with me. So we're a package deal.
People assume everyone has a great support structure, and some people do and some people don't.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate, and I have my grandma still living, and she's 80, almost 88, and she watches my 5-year-old twins on the regular.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's strong.
Yeah. So the family advocates, which Sierra and Sarah were two of them, we had 4 people with us at the trip to DC. There was a symposium that we were able to attend. We actually had a panel that we were a part of. The family advocates were there to tell the people in the breakout session about, what they had done through the grant cycle. And myself and 4 other people representing the agencies who had received the grant are able to speak to the process that we had done to, really raise awareness in our local areas. In fact, Childcare Choices was the only one that was county specific. There was Arizona, Missouri / Kansas, because it was Kansas City. So they served both Kansas and Missouri, because they're right on the state line, Hawaii and Alaska. So like Hawaii, Alaska, Arizona, all of them were statewide.
That's interesting.
So Childcare Choices was the only one that was specific to one single county. So we had, a journey that was much different from some of the other organizations that were a part of that process.
And they were there representing entire states.
Yes.
Or 2 states. That's crazy. Wow. So what did you guys talk to I assume you met with the legislators and kind of talked about your stories?
Yeah, we got to meet with legislators, staffers, which they're the ones that really have their feet on the ground and talk to them. We met with Mike Carey, John Houston, Mike Turner, and Bernie Marino. So we got to have some pretty deep conversations with their staff about the troubles that we have with childcare and affordability and availability, which is a big thing, specifically in my story.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would love for you guys to share your stories that you were able to share with the legislators so that the people listening to the podcast would be able to know what you guys are going through and, hear the same things that you were able to share while we were in DC.
Yeah, that'd be great. I would love to hear that.
Yeah. So my Head Start story started when my oldest child was about 3 years. He was 2, almost 3. My oldest brother passed away and my mom had to go back to work. So I lost my full-time babysitter.
Right.
So I applied for him to go to Head Start and we sat on a waiting list and he aged out. So we had to end up looking around in Troy. There's a lot of childcare opportunities, but they're so expensive. And I'm a self-employed mom. So, money only goes so far and I only have so much time. So we ended up back on the Head Start list for actual Head Start instead of early. And he made it into the center-based program. So it was nice to know that my kiddo is safe and taken care of. And I don't have to worry about him from 8 a.m. till 2:30 in the afternoon. And I'm a massage therapist. So it's a hour by hour for my day. And most childcare choices around are a couple hours in the morning, a couple of days a week. So it wasn't really beneficial for us.
Right.
So,
and when you lose your support structure like that, it's kind of like a panic moment.
Yeah.
Because you're counting on that. And then it's something that it's gone. Yeah. And then you're just like, now what?
Right. Yeah. So when I found out I was pregnant in 2020 with twins, I was like, how do I get them on this list? What do I do? Where are we going to go? So I joined Head Start as a pregnant person. They have a program. So when the babies were born, they came to our house and they did weekly visits with my newborns.
Really?
Yeah, we did home-based program.
That's great.
They came and did activities and just things that they would do in center-based while we waited for center-based options to open up. Yeah.
Because you have to get on those waiting lists. And sometimes you have to change the location. So then you start over from scratch. Yeah, that's a whole other thing is getting on one of the lists for the pre-K or something like that. And
our Head Start's wait lists you get points for different things. So somebody can come in that just is in much more need of childcare than where you're at. So you're just bumped down the list, which it's great. It's a wonderful system, but it sucks when you're sitting in the middle of the system and you're like, I just need 2 spots open up.
Right. And then you think you have it and then,
Yeah. So
that speaks to the need for that kind of thing. If there's a waiting list for something, then that means there's not enough funding, usually, is what that means.
So in Miami County, actually, most of the children that are receiving care are being cared for by unlicensed in-home programs.
Really? I did not know that. That's
so,
unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few centers in Miami County and licensed in-home programs, but the need is so great that they just can't accommodate the number of children that need care.
Right.
And so when, you're on wait list after wait list for years and
that
years,
has to be frustrating.
You have
Very
to
much
go
so.
somewhere. And a lot of times for the unlicensed programs, they are able to be more affordable than, a center.
Well, I know why.
Yeah.
They're not licensed.
Because they're licensed.
And they're in some sketchy basement or something.
Sometimes.
Like where you're recording your podcast right now.
Very sketchy.
Very sketchy. Yes.
Now, I will say, because I don't want to, lump everybody into it, there are many, many wonderful unlicensed in-home providers. But, there's also the ones that aren't so great.
So were you able to find something that helped or eventually, or are you still looking?
Yeah, eventually we opened up 2 spots in center based. So my boys went at 6 months, and that's where they stayed until they just graduated preschool. We did have a few hiccups with government stuff. We had to cut slots in Coors is where my kids go. So we cover 9 counties, and in budgets and all this COVID stuff happening, they had to cut slots, and our center, Troy, is where some of them were cut. And we have about 10 kiddos that are all right at the same age. Between December and March, they all turned 3. So they were like, all right, you guys are out because we don't have any spots for 3-year-olds. So thankfully, we were able to move some slots from another facility into Troy and keep these 10 kiddos in school. But it was, again, scary. Like I'm looking at if my kids are home, my grandma can't watch them all day, every day.
Right.
So I have to cut my hours back. And what's that going to look like? And how are we going to afford food and gas in my car and rent even? So it was kind of scary there for a good month or so. And then they were able to finally announce that they were able to move these positions over for them.
God, that is so stressful. I was just talking to my wife about this whole concept of mental load where you're just like your brain won't be quiet because it's constantly worrying about not 5 things, but like 200 different things. And your brain is like reminding you, hey, don't forget about that over there.
Yep.
Even something like that where you have a resource that you're using still requires you to like track all of the different metrics and make sure you're where you need to be at the right time. I can't even imagine doing something like that for organizational wide where you're helping, dozens or scores of people and trying to make sure everything gets coordinated and that the people are at the right place at the right time. That's insane.
Yeah, it's a lot. Over the last 2 weeks, I have learned quite a bit.
Have you run into that it's a little bit crazy?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Especially in May, we had, the trip to DC. We also had our fundraising gala. We had some other events that we were participating in May. So it was a lot.
Yeah. You guys were very busy those couple days right before we left for DC.
Yes.
So you found the resources that were helpful at that time, and then you feel like you could kind of like settle down.
Thankfully, Head Start's very strong. They have a really good foundation. So once you get in there, it's typically good for the most part. It's just kind of keeping things. And when the government starts putting their hands in cookie jars, and
we were just talking about the further away you are from the funding deciders and the decision makers, it seems like the more problems occur in the middle in there. So that's why I like Childcare Choices, because it's local and the funding is local, and you're raising funds from local people that want to get involved with people that they see in the community. And it's different from like a national organization. It's just a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons why it was really important for the family advocates to be able to go to Washington, D.C. and to tell their stories to the legislators, so that it puts a face to a name to a real challenge instead of just a number, in a sea of thousands of other numbers.
Right. And you felt like you got your point across, that you were talking to the folks and they were receptive to that?
Yeah, they seem to really enjoy hearing from us and hearing our stories. And for the most part, they seem to be interested in what we say. And one of them was like, I'm getting married and kids are the next step. So this is going to be a real thing for me soon. So it was nice.
It's nice when people are open to hearing that kind of thing, even if they may not have a lot of control over helping, that you're getting the advocacy out.
At least
there.
they're listening, truly listening. It was really cool. I keep telling everybody, this was my second time in DC going to talk to legislators. And one of them remembered who I was. He was like, "You look so familiar." And I was like, "I was here about a year ago." So it was really nice that he just remembered me. And he was kind of like, "Yeah, I know who you are, what you were here for."
That's cool. That's good that they remember. I cannot even imagine how many people they meet with.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I run the paper and I'm constantly talking to local people, and people come up to me a month later and they're like, "Hey, what about that thing with the thing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we're working on that. Who is that? I don't know who that is." So yeah, it's crazy that they can meet with literally thousands of people and remember.
Yeah. It just proves like how big our story is and how much of an impact it makes on people.
Right. Well, the most important question, what was your favorite place to eat in DC when you went there?
Oh, I don't know. This time we went to this funky taco place. It was pretty good.
Ooh,
oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
that's cool. What was that? Anybody know?
Oh, I would
don't
have to
remember
look
what
it
it's
up.
called.
Funky taco place. That sounds
I had like a mushroom thing that they had. It was pretty good.
really. That does sound good. Mushroom taco?
I don't think it was a taco. It was like a dish.
Their guacamole was really good.
A friend of mine likes shrimp tacos, and that's all she like. Everywhere she goes, she tries that. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, hopefully she'll go there one time and try it.
Taqueria Xochi with an
Yeah.
X.
Yeah.
Okay, with an X.
Yes.
Oh.
It's very modern.
Xochi.
That's how you can tell it's fancy, because it's got an X in it. Well, I'm glad you went. I'm glad you had a good time, and I'm glad you feel like you got the word out
Yeah.
about the people you were talking to.
I tried lamb for the first time. I had these
Oh,
lamb
like lamb
tacos.
tacos. That does look good. I like the little trays too. Those are quarter sheets. That's the very popular right
Yep.
now. People love to serve little plates on the quarter. Is that like chili or something?
no, it's like the dip for
Like brie.
Like bira? Like bira?
yeah,
when the-
yeah, it was pork quesabrera.
Okay,
That's what
there's
it's called.
there's a taco
Or not pork
place
lamb,
in Troy called
Agave and rye.
Agave and rye.
Oh, I love agave and rye.
So good.
next episode we're going to tape there, because good lord, they have these bira tacos that you dip in that.
Yeah.
You said you're bringing us back next episode?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
perfect.
but we're going to do it.
Right.
We're going to do it there. I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the better thing to do. All right. Well, I think we have another guest on the show. Vivian's going to sing out from, what's the show? What's the movie called with the lady could make fire come out of her hands? What's that called? And she can make things like set on fire. Elsa? Is it Elsa? There's a lady that can do, it's not Frozen. It's what is it? Maybe it's Frozen. I don't know. I don't know what she can do, but she can make snow. I don't know. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Do you know?
I think she says, "Let it go."
Will you sing it for me?
I don't think anybody knows that song. Did
Maybe
Vivian
later.
go to DC?
She did not.
Oh boy, she missed out on the tacos.
I know.
Cool. Well, did you go? Did you get a chance to go?
Yes, I did.
Nice. Tell us about your trip.
It was just, I've never been on an airplane before and I'm terrified of heights.
Oh
and
my.
I had to go on an airplane twice and I was just terrified the entire time. And
You got
very
your
nervous.
wings.
And I did.
Yeah, the last ones.
So my dad is a frequent flyer. He used to work at a place called D&D Auto Classic or Classic Auto in Covington. They restore old cars. He did that forever. And he would go on trips to go see, fancy cars at car shows all the time. And he told me that they have wings for first-time flyers. So I had asked about them, and they had one left.
Oh no.
So I was like, sweet. So I got
the only
my
ones.
wings. But then, we got there and we had a lot of opportunities to hear from people to help us get prepared for what we were getting into. And that was kind of the first time I really shared my story
Right.
with people.
And what was your story?
When I found out
That's
that I was
really good.
pregnant, I, knew that eventually, not eventually, it, happens pretty quickly. I had to go back to work.
Right.
And so I called everywhere I could in the 3 towns that, closest to me to see if there was availability. And obviously there was not. So I had to be on wait lists for everywhere. And I also cloth diapered. And so that narrowed down my list even more because some places were like, oh, we can't do that or we won't do that. Or so then I just had to wait. And eventually I got a call that there was availability somewhere. So she was able to start, and then I started back working. So then I'm a single mother, so I've had to pay, the childcare by myself. And then I had lost my job, and I had applied everywhere I could, literally anywhere I could, and was unable to find anything for 3 months. So, I still had to pay for childcare. I had no income, and it was really hard. But then I finally was able, there was availability or a job opening at the center she was going to. So I was able to get a job there. And we ended up having to leave that center, which then left her without childcare again. So right now I'm on more waiting lists, for schools for her to get back into preschool. And right now I'm lucky enough to have a friend who is a stay-at-home mom, because she's able to do that. And she has a daughter who's a little older than mine, and they're best friends. And so right now she's able to help me out with that until somebody calls me back.
Right. Yeah,
So-
temporary solutions over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So there's no consistency either, and that's
Yeah.
bad. That's bad for kids.
Absolutely.
And something that you had shared when we were in DC.
I know I'm forgetting stuff.
No, it's
I'm like
okay.
trying to remember.
So I remember you saying that when you worked at the childcare that she went to, if she got sick and you had
yeah.
to take her home, then that's an employee, a teacher that
Yeah.
is not able to be available for ratio
Right,
in the classrooms that you were working in. And, if you were sick, then you may not be able to bring your child to
Right.
the center. And, it's hard to keep that consistency for, not only for your child, but for all the children.
Right. Definitely being not being able to have that person, and then it just makes everybody else more stressed out, and just affects everything. And it's kind of the same thing now, because my friend who is able to watch her, some days that she's not able to. So then I have to figure out something else for childcare for those days as well.
Do you feel like you made an impact going to DC and talking to people?
Yeah, like she said, they were very receptive, very interested in hearing our stories, and it seemed like they were really taking it in and like trying to understand and figure out what they can do to help and learn more about what's actually happening in these environments and with these families.
No, I agree. Them being able to hear from the people who are living it every single day
Right.
was invaluable. And I was really appreciative that you guys were able to make the trip with us and be able to share your stories, because, that it made such a difference.
Right. Well, thanks for coming on and talking about that and telling us the stories that you shared with everybody. It sounds like Childcare Choices needs help. If people want to help, how would they do that?
We always appreciate any generosity that people would like to extend to us. We are 100% donor and grant funded.
Right.
And so, anything that, people want to give out of the goodness of their heart will go to our programs that we do, whether that's Story Lady or trainings or kindergarten readiness, advocacy, all of the different things that we do as an agency. Your donations can help fund. We do have a giving link on our website.
Right. Yes.
www.child-care-choices.org has a link where you can go and make a donation. Anything, no donation too small or too big that we would be able to, apply to the work that we do.
Right. And on the last episode, we found out you don't get any state funding. So who knew?
We do not.
That's a shocker. I don't think a lot of people know that. So if people want to help out, that would be the best way to do it, would be to either advocate for you with their representatives or make a donation.
Yeah. Now we do have the national funding for our child and adult care food program that we do. But everything else is, funding from, people just like you
Exactly.
who, are generous with their time and their money, and through grants that we are able to secure.
And if people wanted to know more about Childcare Choices, where could they go?
We have a Facebook page, Childcare Choices of Miami County. We have a Pinterest that is connected to our Story Lady program. There's a lot of activities that are related to what the theme is of our Story Lady for that season. We also have an Instagram, but we're not super, active on there.
All the social medias take so much work. You really have to have somebody on staff who's into it.
And we do not. I mean, I do some marketing on the side for other stuff. So, there's some things that I'm able to do for it, but that is not my entire job. And so it sometimes gets put to the back burner.
That's good. You have a Pinterest person. I don't have a Pinterest person. Well, thanks for coming on the show today, everybody. Thanks for dropping in and telling us about your stories. It was good to hear.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. And thanks to you. Thanks, Janine, for coming on.
Of course.
And chatting. We'll have to have you back on again, maybe ahead of one of your gala events or something like that.
Yes, and rye.
Absolutely. And we'll do it on a week when there isn't an air show. How's that sound?
I think that'd be a great idea.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for joining us on the Newsmakers podcast, sponsored by the Tip Gazette. And
all right, play us off, Vivian.
Oh yeah, Vivian, sing something for as we go out so that we can play at the end. Okay. Awesome, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll talk soon.
Welcome to the Spectre Sisters, your portal into the unexplainable,
the unknown,
and the undeniably strange.
From haunted houses and cryptid sightings to eerie coincidences and unsolved mysteries, the Spectre Sisters are on a mission to investigate it all with logic, curiosity, and just the right amount of goosebumps.